Hi, Jaru.
Hello, nice
Hello.
on
Nice to
Kyle.
meet you.
Nice to meet you. I know we have not met in person, Oliver, except maybe in passing.
Yeah, it's
Nice
true.
to see you.
Nice to see you in the face. I guess that's the weirdest
In
thing for me
person,
to
it's
possibly
me.
say in
No, it's
person.
all good, dude. I get that.
Yeah. Yeah. So Dylan, I don't want to cut you off.
No.
What were you
You're
saying?
good. You go into talking with Jaru.
Okay. um. Okay. So Jar, welcome. Do you like going by Jar or Kiana? What's the preferred?
Whatever you want, dude. I feel special when people call me Gyro because I'm a gamer now, but most people just call me Quiana.
All right.
I hope.
Quiana then. All right. No, I'm just kidding. Well, this is a gamer stream, so we can go by gamer
True.
rules.
What's up, y'all?
Um,
USC Gyro.
USC Jaru. Hell yeah. Have you ever thought of playing for the team?
I'm
For
trash.
Overwatch?
I'm actually shit. Sorry, wait.
I mean, we've been
Okay,
cursing as long as
Yeah,
it's not,
all
it's
right.
probably fine.
you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm hot trash. Last time I played was maybe a calendar year ago. I was in my apartment in Web Tower, and it was 11 p.m. and I was grinding ranked, and I was like, I'm gonna be plat. I'm gonna do it. And the teams were not great that night. So I ended up. It was very dark at that time. It was like 12 a.m. by the time I finished. And I went and I stood in front of my window just to like calm down because like I was so tilted. I was actually so angry. And my roommate came out and screamed because they saw me in the dark, just like staring out the window. They thought I had broken in. And that was last time I played ranked. I don't think I can do that again. But yeah.
Wow. So
That's
here you are, the varsity. Are you the varsity manager or president?
I'm the manager. I'm not sure if the president is like the title, but I've been like basically running this team for my entirety of my college career. Yep.
Very exciting. And so you guys also had your first PAC-U match yesterday. It was the first PAC-U, whatever it's called, the PAC-U series of matches.
Yeah.
The first one. From your perspective, how do you think it went? Just the overall.
I mean, given the circumstances that led up to the match, I kind of expected that it would be maybe a little rough. I didn't think it would be rough looking up the other team. But yeah, we had a pretty rough week and actually like 2 weeks leading up to this match because of midterms. Everybody's got really bad schedules. Nobody can align for scrims. We actually had to scrim a 5-7 block right before this game yesterday, and our opponent in that block was much better than us. So the boys were already feeling a little bit down before they got into that game.
I mean, regardless, I feel like USC didn't play poorly. I saw some really great plays, and it definitely wasn't a blowout. It was very close. Especially, well, I think it was close. I'm not like the biggest, my Overwatch knowledge is okay. So
Sure.
why would you say it wasn't close? From the outside, it looked,
Well, I mean, it was a close match, but it shouldn't have been close, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, we were definitely better than how we played yesterday, but we were just frazzled and panicking a lot because of the lack of practice and coordination that we should have had going into this match. I think the players forgot some of the stuff that we had learned beforehand that we've picked up through scrims and VOD reviews coming up to this match like weeks ago. It's just been busy,
What have you guys been mainly practicing? Like, what are your scrims focusing on?
Well, there's a lot of patches that come out recently. So the meta kind of shifts every here and there, now and then. We've been doing a lot of brawl comp, and I mean, I'm also not like the greatest Overwatch player, nor am I up to date with the meta nowadays. So I'm not sure what I'm talking about all the time. But we're doing a lot of brawl. And now that the soldier patch is out, there's a new soldier patch that essentially changed his recoil to go from random to basically straight up and down. So a lot better for aim-intensive players and hit scan
Right.
players. Yeah, I think we're excited to try that out, but we didn't really have the ability to try that out in our scrim before this game. So yeah, we also lost a bit of our team coordination, I think, because the players just haven't really been playing with each other for that much leading up to the match this past like 2 weeks.
And I feel like I saw the roster wasn't the same as it's been before. AK-13 was not there. For people in chat were upset about that.
That was hilarious. AK is our sub, so we bring him in when we need to, but also he's a good player. I love you, AK, if you're watching this. Yeah, we've had a bit of a I don't want to say messy, but like just like a slightly inconsistent roster, I'd say. This semester, mostly just because of COVID. If COVID wasn't happening, we'd have like we'd be stacked. But you know, things change. We've had to kind of rotate our support line basically, like a lot throughout this past semester. So for matches, sometimes we're playing Devin, Pronky Master, and sometimes we're playing AK. We're always playing Jay now. If Ethan was around, he would be playing too. But you know, COVID stops us from doing a lot of stuff.
I see. Yeah, understandable. In terms of the match last night too, what do you guys think was your biggest like challenge against Boulder? Like what were you not capitalizing off of that you could have?
Really, like I guess what we couldn't have done in reaction to them, it was more like our side, we just like the players were panicking a lot. They were overthinking some things. I think on Havana, when they were defending, they switched heroes like DPS and support like 3 times or something, which really shouldn't have happened because it messed with our old economy. Yeah, a lot of like mistakes in, I guess, decision making, like internal decision making, team stuff. Mechanics are there, but yeah, just having like a mental off day, especially our main tank Twang. He's pretty busy. He's got a lot of assignments to do, and then you know, these players, they never read what I say. So when I post the schedules, they just ignore it and then they forget that we have games. I still love them though.
Well, yeah. Did you see any moments of brilliance yesterday? Like were there moments where you were truly proud of your boys?
We had some pretty clean fights, I'd say. Pretty clean team fights here and there. I don't remember all that too much because I work a lot on Thursdays. So I was literally in a meeting like right before the game. But I think King's Row, that last take to secure first point, was pretty good. I think the one thing that stood out to me was sometimes we get a good pick, right? And we could just move in from that. Once we get that pick, it's like it's super clean. We can just move in. We understand exactly what to do to take the point, to take the payload, whatever. But that first pick that we figured out, or that at least like the key point to winning what we need to do, it took us a really long time on King's Row because it was like maybe like 2 minutes or 3 minutes into first point on our attack before we realized that the Junkrat in hotel was like messing us up really badly. So yeah, I was watching, spectating, and I was like, please take care of the Junkrat. But I can't say anything because that's like, you know, against the rules.
That's fair. And then there's of course the Blizzard play at the last point of the game. Were you guys expecting that at all? Because it looked like USC was fully blindsided.
We were expecting that. It was just hard to avoid. Really hard to avoid because I don't think we had any ults back then. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That was hard to watch. But
yeah.
you know,
I know. Like I was watching the stream in one window and then I had the game up live in the other, and there was a delay on the stream. So I was watching the stream and like we hadn't gotten to that point yet, but in front of me like we were losing, and like Jim was messaging me and a bunch of people were messaging me and they were like, please don't let this don't let this be a loss. Like you're kidding me, right? Like you're just holding out on this result. And I just like I sent back frowny faces. Like,
so what does this mean for the future of USC Overwatch? How can you guys kind of work around the midterm challenges, the whole school challenges, you know?
I mean, hopefully midterm season is over soon, which we all know is never true because midterms don't stop until finals start. But I gave the kids a bit of a chat with in regards to scheduling. So hopefully they'll be much better on being available. They like I was not aware of like the times that they were not available and stuff properly leading up to here. Like I had their schedules, but like it was pretty inconsistent in the ways that they were like free and not free. So we have that solid down now. It's concrete. So we've got a good schedule for scrims that should hopefully make sure that everybody can play. We're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on, I guess, regaining what we lost in that like week and a half to 2 weeks break that we took up to this match. And yeah, we're just gonna like try our best in the coming matches. that might be a little hard because we've got some really tough opponents, but we'll try.
Who are you guys playing against?
This weekend is really bad. It's TESPA,
Right.
and we're in the Varsity Invitational. So we're playing UCI, and we're also playing Northwood University, which is that school that just like appeared
Oh
out of
no.
nowhere
Yeah,
and apparently owns the Collegiate now.
they do. Yeah, Northwood's
Yeah.
insane. Absolutely out of nowhere. That's tough. That's a tough 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'm in a little pain. It's not 2 weeks. It's just both matches on Saturday. I
Oh,
really
sorry,
hope
that's
this does
a tough
not boom their mental. No worries.
Well, I mean, like, hopefully not, but also it's cool to play against the two best teams, essentially. That is the two best teams, actually, I think.
It is,
Unless
yeah.
you wanna say
Yep.
Harrisburg, but who knows?
Well, Harrisburg, Maryville, UCI, Northwood, I think those are the big four.
Right. Yeah.
Big four.
I mean, if you guys can, win a round, that'd be really cool. That'd be
I
pretty
really
sick.
hope so.
Any dents in the armor that you can get there will be a win, honestly.
Yeah, I want them. I mean, they don't know this because I don't think they're aware of the players. I don't think they're aware of who Northwood is. I just told
Oh.
them today, because they literally came out of nowhere this summer.
Mhm.
But I hope they get a map. I hope we get a map on any of the teams would be really nice. I think we've played UCI recently. I don't remember when. Might have been a scrim, but yeah, it was kind of rough. But it's okay. We expect it. So we're gonna go into these matches this weekend. We're gonna be chill. We're gonna try and have fun. Haha. And we're just gonna work on the stuff that we need to. Maybe we'll just treat this as a scrim. Who knows? Not me.
There you go.
Go-
So what are the goals? Oh, go ahead, Dylan.
Oh
Sorry.
no, I was just saying, just going in without any real expectations. Maybe we'll see an upset. No pressure.
Yeah, I definitely playing official matches really gets to my players' mentals. Like
Mhm.
they, like as we saw yesterday, they make a lot more worse decisions. They make mistakes. They forget things. So I want them to relax going into this one a lot more.
For sure. So what are the goals for the season now? Now that you've had a couple matches under your belt.
In terms of Varsity Invitational for TESPA, I think just do the best that we can. I think like in terms of SR, we're like I guess on the lower end of the spectrum of these teams that are in the Invitational. That doesn't mean we can't do anything. Like we won against UC Berkeley last week. That was cool. But I think just do the best we can. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to, I guess, like stretch ourselves given COVID and everything that's going on. But yeah, in terms of Pack U, I don't know. I think I have to look more into the teams that are playing to figure that out. But I think we want to do the best that we can, as in like win. I
Well,
think we want to win.
at the very least, you're not against the big four in Pack U, so you've got that going for you.
That is very true. I was very excited also to play UCLA again in the Pack U, but they're not there
Right.
anymore. So
I know that was
Sad.
really sad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Oh,
really
I know.
sad, and lack of comments from them on why is a little unfortunate. But I'm sure they have their reasons, whatnot. But who knows?
yeah, they have their reasons. I'm aware. It's not like anything like groundbreaking, but I don't think I can spill it here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was very excited this semester to finally beat UCLA because I've been at the school for 4 years now, and we were so close to beating UCLA 1 year and then never again.
Well, Conquest
Yes.
was disgustingly close. It was scary, actually. You
guess
guys
so.
are winning, right? I feel
I
like you
don't
guys are winning.
remember too much. I was shoutcasting the entire time, and I was
Right.
just focusing on like keeping my voice alive,
Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's fair. Yeah.
I guess it might have been close. I think we won against JV for sure, and then my players had to go straight into the varsity match because we don't have a JV. We just have varsity, so they played both matches.
I might have been thinking about the UCLA La La Land. Is that?
Oh,
Or did you? What was the really close match that you were thinking of?
I don't remember. It's been a
Cool.
while. A lot has
Yeah.
happened. I think La La Land was each match was close, but UCLA ended up winning the matches. But each map was close. UCLA ended up winning. Yeah, maps are very close.
So, what do you think USC needs to become a top four, become like a Northwood, a Maryville?
I mean, you can't really join those ranks without pumping massive amounts of money into your esports program and making it the school's selling point, which is never going to happen for USC because we got a lot of other things to worry about. USC is a football school, not a Overwatch school. It would be cool to make it an Overwatch school. I just don't see that happening like immediately, which is fine. In terms of what we can do to get closer to that point, um, I mean, we've got players with like I guess skill ranges. It's the skill range of the players is very large. Like we've got like players in Diamond leading up to Grandmaster. Ideally, we'd have every player in Grandmaster, which requires a lot of work on their part. So I don't blame them for
Right.
not being like able to do that. It would be nice if there were more players at USC who were high ranked. But I've done a lot of thinking about this over the past 4 years, and I don't think it's possible, at least for a school like USC, to have that many players of Overwatch, first of all, who are second high rank. Mostly because of like barriers of entry.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's a long thought. Just
Yes.
better players, which is
Right.
yeah.
Better players, better ingredients.
Yeah,
That-
but that
that makes
doesn't mean
sense.
I don't love my players right now. I think they're amazing and deserve all the love and appreciation for their hard work.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we were talking about this exact same thing with Michael just a second ago, where he was talking about like he's the coach for like ASU League of Legends and how they're like getting into a school like ASU has statistically there's a much lower barrier for entry, not only in acceptance rate but also like cost of it, like cost of going to the school, and all these barriers for entry really like make it a numbers game, like you said, where having enough players that come in rated like Grandmaster, but also had their way admitted into a school like USC, which has such a low acceptance rate, and also like have like the scholarships or like the money to back up going here and like want to come here because esports will never really be a selling point for USC. Like all those stars aligning is, if, at the end of the day, kind of just luck.
Yeah, I think that's why you see those schools, Maryville, Harrisburg? I forgot already.
Harrisburg, yeah.
Harrisburg, Northwood. These are schools that you haven't heard of otherwise than or other than esports,
Mhm.
and that's because they don't have, I guess, not to diss them, but they don't have like other major selling points other than esports because they pumped all their money into that and they've got this amazing program for esports at each school. They can like hire contenders players, like literal tier 2 players from Overwatch and just have them go to their school. And the players get a win because they get the education, they get money for the education, and they get to play Overwatch at a high level. While the school gets they get a lot of applications and that's where all the money comes in. Yeah.
Yeah, and not only do they get these players, but they also have the money to back up like the coaching staff and the infrastructure and making sure these players don't have any roadblocks. Whereas like here we don't have the like that kind of thing.
Yeah, we do have a coach,
Well,
Coach Natcher, who
yeah,
we love. But, I mean, he's a part-time coach,
yeah,
not in LA, like Joe's in LA, for the league team
mhm.
because we love league. But, uh, Natter's still I mean, he's still studying at school right now. He's a student. Uh, we don't have the ability to hire him full-time. Also, I don't think he would do full-time. But, yeah, I mean, it'd be really nice to get over these barriers of entry, but, like, it's, like, just given the demographic that we, like, attract to the school, it's just not possible.
Yeah, it seems like a thing that could be solved in 10 years when every college is fully on board, Maybe not like fully on board, but on board
Yeah.
to esports.
I mean, I could see it in like a decade where like colleges see the benefit of like esports and like collegiate esports gets kind of brought out of this infantile stage that it's in now, like on the backs of schools like Maryville and like Harrisburg, and like them pumping out the money, showing the results, and then bigger schools are like, well, maybe this could be profitable and start like actually giving real support.
Well, I've thought about this too, and I mean, ultimately, like at the end of the day, collegiate, I say it wrong. It's not profitable.
Yeah.
If you think about it, there's no like you can't sell tickets to a LAN for like a school's esports event because right now they're not supported by the school or no one's gonna like go to them. Um, in the ideal situation, you could sell like maybe one event per year, but that's just one event per year. You can't sell like recurring tickets like a homestand like for Overwatch League. That doesn't make any sense.
Mhm.
You don't have any profitability there. You don't have any other source of like revenue for esports. Like sponsors, maybe, but I mean, that's minimal. That's like maybe you'll get some peripherals or like hardware from the sponsors. You won't get like any actually cash amount. That's that. And then I guess like there is no connect between collegiate esports and professional esports. I don't like, at least from my experience, I have not seen collegiate stars from Overwatch go into the Overwatch League. I think there was maybe one that went into contenders from UCI,
Mhm.
and he's not there anymore. I have no idea where he is. It's like there's no connect there. You would either, I guess, professional esports would need to treat collegiate as like a literal incubator, or else, I mean, there's no support from that end. But their incubator is tier 2. Collegiate is like maybe tier 4, tier 5.
Michael was saying that it's starting to happen in League, though.
I
Like
hope
they're
so.
starting to look at these Maryville people a little bit more seriously, and I guess others too. But
Yeah.
Well, but you have to think again that Maryville picks up tier 2 players, so
right.
it's just like kind of cycling the same thing over and over again. Which
I
I guess
still
in the
think
long run does attract more students to apply to
right.
Maryville.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it's a long-term game, and I think like football started out the same way, where it was just like, oh, this is unprofitable. Who's going to watch college kids play football?
Mhm.
And then it worked. I think like the alumni thing is the real key, because I'm gonna still be watching USC Esports and like cheering them on. I'm sure,
Mhm.
because I'm not like, I watch sports and stuff, and I like football, but if USC's, I'm getting pretty into Valorant. If USC's Valorant team
Dude,
starts to, okay, yeah, we can
sorry.
talk
I
about
love
that
Valorant.
too. If USC's Valorant team picks up and they're really good, I'll be watching that when I graduate.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think that point that you say about it taking a lot of time, I think the problem is right now there's only a couple like long-term esports. There's League of
I see
Legends
what
is
you're
one,
saying.
CS is one, and then I mean Rocket League and Overwatch have only been around for like 3 years at most, right? Like who knows how that's gonna last. Like you already see Overwatch players being pretty discontent with the game.
Mhm.
Player base is definitely a lot less satisfied than they were when the game came out. If
Yeah.
Overwatch 2 doesn't save it, sorry if it's like Blizzard is watching this. I'm so sorry. Please hire me.
Sorry, Jeff.
If players, yeah, sorry, Jeff. If players aren't satisfied with Overwatch 2, I don't see that being very good for the esport. Because right now, I'd say maybe the only things keeping the professional esport Overwatch League alive are one, giant buy-ins from the teams,
Mhm.
two, the sponsors who seem to find it a good investment. Which I mean, I'm sure there's something behind that. Like Overwatch League was able to pick up some few sponsors in COVID, which is pretty big. Um, where was I? Yes, longevity. 3, I think the players are they really, really love Overwatch. And they're the reason why it's still alive. Like they're trying their best to keep it alive. They're trying to put all their support behind it. But there's only so much that those 3 can do. Like if the players aren't there, like when I said players earlier, I meant professional players. If like casual players and like general player base isn't there, then this game isn't gonna last. This esport's not gonna last. So like how is that gonna how's that gonna last in terms of like collegiate esports, you know? And I
Mhm.
think that's like a risky investment that any school has to make. If they don't do their research properly, like who knows what's gonna happen.
Oh, do you have any opinions on like the, I guess, existence of like Overwatch 2 coming out? Like why make an Overwatch 2 when you can just improve your game when you're like losing players anyways?
Well, Overwatch 2 specifically is just the PvE part. So that's for the casual players to kind of chill and like do whatever.
Mhm.
So I'd understand them pumping that out because like the problem with competitive games in general is that you have a disconnect between the casual and the competitive player base. They clash because there's not like true difference in like the game modes.
Mhm.
Casual players can still play competitive, but they don't think about it the same way that competitive players do. So those casual players can have fun in PvE, while the competitive players go back to they still play Overwatch. And what Blizzard is going to do is they're going to maintain like the current competitive modes, which includes like quick play competitive and all that like open queue stuff. They're just gonna update to like a new engine, do some quality of life changes, add in the new heroes, stuff like that. I'm really banking actually on the new engine that Blizzard is gonna put in because it'll probably make VFX a lot more visible in Overwatch. So
Thank
like
goodness.
spectating will be a much easier experience. I hope. I hope.
I mean, Overwatch
I
has
don't know.
been trying like again and again to try and make their viewer base more enjoyable, but like the game itself isn't conducive to that. Like it's
Yeah, the
just so
problem is-
chaotic.
Yeah, you have to play the game a lot to know what's going on, which sucks. And even then, sometimes like from the third person perspective, you just don't know what's going on. Where were we? Like, what was the reason that I got into this? If you remember.
Asking about Overwatch 2.
Right. Yeah, I think these quality of life changes should be able to maybe save the game. I don't know if save is the right word, but like keep it up to the point where people are going to start coming back to Overwatch. That, and then I think they're gonna. Well, Jeff said in his like a USC appearance just 2 days ago that he was like, what we're gonna do with Overwatch 2 is gonna be similar to what we did with Overwatch back in 2017 when it like the game was still in a super great condition.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that. I think they'll definitely be able to please competitive and casual audiences. I have a lot of hope because that was my first esport.
I mean, I have hope too. I loved Overwatch when it first came out. Like played the hell out of it. But then Brigitte came in and then kind of made it boring for a year. And I was like, yeah, okay.
I don't really get what people say about like Brigitte made it boring, but also I didn't play because I was angry at the game.
It was just Dive was really exciting to watch in the first year of Overwatch League and all like the counter comps that would come out of it. And then Brigitte just made like Jason Genji unplayable. And then it made it the 3 tank, 3 support. And then that just wasn't as exciting.
Goats.
Watching Goats where you have like Aim God Sinatra on Zarya the whole time. It's just not as fun.
I guess Goats is fun to play for the players.
Yeah.
They love that. I guess for a spectating experience it's not as fun. I get the thing is like with Overwatch League, most of the viewership is extremely casual. They do not give a shit about like what happens in terms of meta and stuff. Like they don't care. They're just like, oh my god, Overwatch, Dante's playing, yay.
Yeah.
And like it's like if Blizzard can feed that audience, they already have like enough players or enough viewer base to like grab some profit from. So I think that's understandable why they weren't so focused on rebalancing the game. Just to like make that experience more just a better experience. But now that in the long term the backlash has risen, they kind of get it now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited for Overwatch 2 to come out. Hopefully just like a new release will just breathe new life into the game, no matter whether the changes are like revolutionary or not. Because I don't want to watch Overwatch die. Like the game is so cool.
Yeah. It is. It's like it was I think the visually like the most amazing game back when it came out. Narratively, it's still incredible. Like the characters are lovable, the world's crazy, the cinematics are chef's kiss.
Pretty clean.
Yeah, it's got so much going for it, and I don't think it's going to die anytime soon. Like die, like go away forever.
Yeah, of course.
There's too much investment in it right now from Blizzard and from investors and players and stuff. But it's in the danger zone.
Yeah, and I feel like this is the big like esports conundrum too. Is like esports is unprofitable, but the game is profitable, so it's hard to tell which area to sink your money into.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo just said, we don't care, and it's doing great for them. You know, like Nintendo not focusing at all on esports isn't hurting them at all. You know, like maybe it would help if Smash was better, like an actual esport, but you know, keeping it casual. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Nintendo makes casual games. Like that's their baseline.
Right.
They're like Smash. I'd say it's competitive, but like it's still a party game. I don't think they need to worry about esports. They never like that's why they didn't. But like for Blizzard, Overwatch, competitive shooter, monetized competitive shooter. What else do you do?
Okay, this is fair. But I guess like loot crates, you know, like I don't know. I look at TF2, and TF2, I always look at TF2. Team Fortress 2 is a competitive shooter as well, but the money's in the hats, you know. And I feel like that might be also true with Overwatch. Maybe not to the same extent.
Maybe. I think I've seen my roommates play. They love Overwatch so much. They're casual players. Like they play ranked and then they don't talk. And I'm like, how can you guys just do this? Like, how can you not talk in voice when you're playing ranked? But they love opening loot crates versus all my players and me. We're just like sitting here when new events come out. We're like, oh boy, here's to another box of exactly the same items that I got last year. It's not that we're not excited. Like all these new like skins and stuff, like the cosmetics, they look cool. It's just like, why? You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Quiana, and you're Quiana. Sorry, I always say Quiana. I
Oh,
don't know
good.
why.
I've heard many amalgamations of my name over the years. Like people call me like Quinoa, Quino,
Quinoa, that's pretty
yeah,
good.
Quiano. You know, there's like a French Guiana down in South America. Yeah, I get that sometimes. You know.
Well, Quiana, Jaru, what do you think is the, like, if there is an esport that people aren't thinking of right now that's going to be the next famous esport, what is it? It can be conceptual or an actual one right now.
Uh, I'm gonna quote Jeff here, and what he said in Wednesday's class. If you listen to the answer I give you, I'm full of shit.
Okay. Okay.
We can't really predict these kind of things, you know. I would say I do want to say that the shooter market is pretty saturated right now. And I think what the pros and I think big names in the esports industry want to see, at least from like what I saw in a slasher tweet, is like a shooter that takes advantage of movement and makes it like one of the focal points of competition. Movement and like a high skill cap in terms of like aim, all that other jazz.
Yes,
But
Well,
that's
I've got a
100%
game
yes.
for you guys, man. I have the one game
100%.
for you, and that's Team Fortress 2. But that's
No. Well,
I'd love to see that come back.
yeah, the immediate thing that comes to mind is if anyone has ever played Warframe, it's basically like, just like an MMO, but like shooter based. But
I
like,
played
yeah,
Warframe.
but like the movement in that game is so good, and I can just imagine like a competitive version of like taking like Warframe's movement and like, you know, give it some like standardized guns, give it like a gun economy. Oh my gosh. Mwah.
It's like, oh my god, you could say that, but I have been talking to some CS players these past few days because I love Valorant and I love
Yeah.
thinking about it all the time. But it's like they complain about Overwatch. They're like, Overwatch is way too fast. Like you can't aim anything. Like there's so much going on. People move way too fast. And then I talked to Overwatch players. They're like, Valorant is so slow. Like nothing's happening. And then CS players are like, Valorant's so slow. Like I feel like right here CS is like the only good esport, but it's also been around for like 15 billion years, so you know. It's really easy to say what kind of esport people want to see. To make it is a totally different situation, and also who knows what the studios want to make in general. I feel like nowadays, not to get on the tangent, but like studios are making games not really because they want to, like, they don't think it's a good game maybe, but because they think it's a good idea to make it because maybe it'll become an esport, maybe it'll become profitable, maybe it'll be, like, the next big thing. That's what they're making, because there's so many games now. So many like, the market is saturated, the market is very saturated. Game dev is, like, expanding really quickly. It's hard to say what's gonna come next, mostly because there's so many opportunities. I wanna see VR esports. I think that'd be fun.
Dude, oh my
Really
god.
cool.
Yes.
Just
Fully
saying.
on board.
The USC Beat Saber VR team would have myself and my roommate on it, and we would win.
Do you have Rec Room by chance? Do you have a VR set?
I do. Would you like to see it? It's right here.
Yes, of course.
It's just an Oculus Rift I bought off the free and for sale page.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I keep it around because I do AGP, so I have to develop in VR.
Oh, sick. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for people to VR chat with. So
I've never tried.
ooh,
Scared.
it's terrifying, but it's fun.
I can imagine just like seeing little anime avatars in front of you, be like, "That's Oliver. What's up, Oliver?" But you're like an anime girl with like 16 pigtails.
That's gonna be me. Yeah, that's my hope is that's gonna be my like future world avatar.
I'd like to see it. Let me know when you do.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much all I got. Dylan, do you have any other questions?
I mean, not exactly. Other than I mean, you said you've been like the Overwatch team manager since you came to USC. How did you fall into that gig?
There was no manager when I came to USC, and my love for Overwatch was like at its peak when I came. So I was like proactively hunting out opportunities in Overwatch at USC, and they had an esports club, and I was like, holy shit, esports at my school? No way. It's just like the trap that every single freshman falls into. So I found the USC esports club, and the team there was competing in TESPA. and that was back when all the players were top 500. So I just came in and I was like, "Yo, what up? Can I join and like manage you guys?" And they were like, "Lamau, what's a manager?" And I'm like, "I don't know." It was terrible. Oh my god. I was talking to Peter Yang, who was the old Overwatch captain last
Mhm.
night about this, because he sent me a screenshot from the old Facebook chat that we used to use. We had a Facebook chat, and people would not check it. So when I needed them to come online for the games, I would at them like 10 million times the Facebook chat. Except this was back when Facebook chat did not have ats, so I just had to type and pray that they looked at it.
Oh gosh.
It was terrible. It was like the worst experience of my life, and I'm still here 4 years later doing the exact same thing. So it doesn't stop.
Technology's improved, but yeah, wow.
Yeah. Like now we use Discord. This has been such a blessing to me. Like I can at people, I can at everyone, I can post in channels. It's crazy. Technology has come
Discord's
so
the
far.
best thing. It's the best thing ever. Yeah,
Yeah.
huge fan.
So Lamau, what is a manager? What do you do for them?
I mean, at its core, the manager should schedule scrims, register the team for all the tournaments, go through all of the back end stuff so that the team never has to look at it or like deal with any of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do a lot. I schedule the scrims. I send out a post every week that's like, here's what's happening this week. Please read it, which they don't.
Yeah.
And then when like a scrim or a game is about to happen, I will remind them the day of, like a couple hours before, and then I'll remind them 10 minutes before. And then when it's time to get on, I like at them a trillion times until they show up in the voice channel, and usually they're asleep. And then yeah, I will run lobbies for scrims. I will get them into the games that they need to during match days, stuff like that. And when we're not in COVID, I like to take them out on dinners because we had a budget and we would go get Korean barbecue a lot. Esports players love Korean barbecue. I don't get it.
Yeah, esport players really do. I mean, it's insane.
I get that it's a lot of meat, like for your money, but like, what if you just like, I don't know, ate something else for once in your life? Like,
What? Why would you eat something else?
This is what I don't understand about you. We once went out to sushi
Mhm.
instead of going to Korean barbecue for the 18th time. That was like the greatest team dinner of my life. Right
Yeah,
there.
but it was the
And then COVID
worst
happened.
team dinner of their life.
No, they got free food. How can it be terrible?
In
don't think there
comparison
is-
to all the other Korean barbecue. If there's a best, there has to be a worst.
I guess
Mm.
well, I don't know. We've gone on a couple of dinners. I don't remember there being a particularly bad one. I'm sure they have opinions. Probably the one where I didn't show up and they went to Haejang. They have this meme where I never go to Haejang with them, which is like this K barbecue place down in K Town, but it's like it's $35 per person.
Uh-huh.
But in exchange you get like amazing service and a lot of meat and like it's good meat. I just never go because I'm busy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spend $35 even though it's not my money. But they're always like, Quiana, don't you want to come with us? And then they go when it's not like team budget, like a team dinner. They're
Mhm.
just like, want to go to Haejang, Quiana? I'm like, no. And they're like, God, you hate fun. You hate showing up. I've never seen you in my life, even though I've seen them multiple times. It's like, I don't know where I was going with this, but they just love Korean barbecue. And I really hope they see this, and I really hope they consider eating something else once in their lives.
Well, I guess they can't really go to too much Korean barbecue with COVID going on, so.
That's true. I'd hope not.
Yeah, hope
Oh.
not.
Maybe they're all just not inviting you anymore since you don't go.
Yeah,
Okay with not going.
maybe.
We're in a pandemic. Why bother?
This is fair. Now that I'm thinking about it, we should have more team dinners for Annenberg Media Esports.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah,
100%. I mean, we
done
were going to. We were going to have Taco Tuesdays, and COVID happened.
I know.
We're-
Yeah, we were so
we're-
close to Taco Tuesdays.
I mean, this Annenberg, our esports desk is even more infantile than anything else we're reporting on. We've been around for like 2 semesters now.
That's okay. You're doing a great job.
Wow,
I've never
thank
been
you.
on a stream before talking about stuff like this, but I'm loving it.
Oh, yeah, the stream's great. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, we've been trying to get Jaru on for months.
Sorry,
but you
I always
have work.
tell you no.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Gordon
we
wants
got
to do
around
this
to
thing
it.
like all the time. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'd love to come back sometime and talk about Valorant.
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
the USC
yeah,
Valorant
for
team
sure.
maybe, but like Valorant in general. I don't know.
You know,
Hopefully the USC Valorant team. You know, we have one.
I mean, hopefully, but I mean, who knows what's really going on with like collegiate esports stuff with COVID going on? Everything's kind of like
Yeah.
going a little slow, bit of a standstill. That's okay.
Collegiate esports isn't really taking a hit, I guess, during COVID, besides the fact that like players have really bad schedules now.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
maintaining the leagues themselves is pretty easy enough. I think the hardest part is just like finding, I don't know, the time to do it, which is
People
like
get busy. Like there's
Yeah.
always these great initiatives at the beginning of the year, which is great. And then like we have work, like there's things to do, and especially if like a lot of the infrastructure is student based, which is fantastic.
Mhm.
You just can't get around to as much stuff as you want to, you know.
Yeah.
At least
I did see some organization announced like a collegiate Valorant tournament with like a $10,000 prize pool. I just saw that the other day. I don't
is that
know.
Alienware?
Maybe?
Because I
I
saw
don't have a very good
someone
memory.
play in that.
Wait,
Okay.
what?
I saw it last night. Last night.
Collegiate something tournament? I totally
Valorant.
Valorant. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! Yes, please.
I'd love to see it. We remember we competed in the
Yeah.
NYXL one actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Back
thought
in
you
the
were gonna say
day,
ours.
but we did that. It was USC, and then it was like San Jose State University, and I want to say Virginia Tech, like, and then University of Texas, like UT to Austin or UT Dallas. Like we had like players from literally all around the country come together on this one team, and I managed them, and it was great.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, we didn't win, but
Yeah.
that's okay. Turns out Overwatch players and CS players think very differently.
Oh,
Oh,
100%. Oh my gosh,
You
dude.
wouldn't
The
imagine.
two games could not be more different.
Yeah, but I mean, I
yeah.
still love them.
Oh yeah, amazing. Well, I think you have any more questions, Oliver? I think I'm out.
Yeah, I'm all questioned out. I mean, unless I think now with all of our tools, with my very absolutely no coding skill, well, I have some coding skills, but no game design skills whatsoever. I think we can make the next big esport.
Yeah,
I know we're not
Okay.
supposed to like, you know, you're not
Okay,
supposed to
so-
hear it from us, but I think we can do it.
we can
I
do
mean,
it
this is
easy.
totally NDA, is what you're saying.
This is NDA on stream.
NDA live on stream. Let's go. Everybody in the chat
is
has
off the
decided.
record.
My bad.
Yeah,
We'll
off the
message
record.
you after.
Yeah, I think it's just us in watching the stream right now, so we're probably good.
That's all.
But
Okay.
you know,
It's a secret. Drop the VOD.
Yeah, delete the VOD. Delete the VOD.
Well,
All right. I think that's it for us. Thank you for
Cool.
coming on, Jaru. It was tons of fun meeting you and talking to you.
no problem. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Love talking to you
thanks
guys.
for coming on. Yeah, it was a good
This was
time.
cool. All right,
Come
we'll
on
have to
next
get
time.
you, we'll have to
We're
get you on another time. Talk about Valorant.
We'll do. Oh gosh, I'm so ready. All right.
All right.
Peace out, guys.
Peace out. Have a good one.
Bye.